Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the flight deck. We are in beautiful Vancouver. It is a nice day down here. A little bit of wind, but pretty clear skies. Today we're continuing on with our Aurora series of flights, and we are heading up to Alaska. We'll be flying all the way up to Ketchikan in southern Alaska, up along the Pacific coast. Should be a good flight. Kevin's joining us. He's sitting there in the CPR 737-600. The baby 737 over there, and we are on VATSIM. No controllers up at the present point in time. We'll see if that changes when we get there. So let's hop on board and we can start getting the aircraft set up as we usually do. Alright, so we are on board the aircraft. Pre-flight cockpit checks are complete. Parking brake, we're going to set that. Parking brakes are now set. We'll pop up top. Battery is coming on. Standby power is going to auto, and emergency lights are now armed. We're also going to turn up our panels here so they are nice and bright and easier to see. So hope everyone is doing well on this Friday. And looking forward to a good flight today. Hey, Kevin. So I said in the chat there, first time I tried to start the ingestion to get the stream live, it puked it out with errors. So had me a little worried we might not be having the stream today, but worked on the second attempt. Alright, so we're going to pop back up top to the overhead. We're going to turn on the lights so the aircraft lights will go on to steady so that they know we are there. IRSs will lean back a little bit further and put the two IRSs into nav mode. And I believe it's time to get the passengers on board.
Boarding requested.
Alright, so while that's happening, we can carry on with our checks. We're going to come down here. We'll get the fasten seatbelt signs on. Things are moving outside.
Do you want to board crew?
No, crew's already on board.
Passengers boarding starting.
Alright, so the passenger signs are on. We're going to come over to the electric hydraulic pumps. Number 2 and number 1 are both on. Yaw damper is now on. Window heats are coming on both the left and the right sides. Left aft fuel pump is going to come on. Wait for that low pressure light to go out. Should go out as we are starting to get pressure in that. That's my battery bang.
Hi, thank you.
Is there I've got ground power. What's going on with my battery? No, battery is on. There we go. And standby power. Yeah, that's all good. Ground power. Okay, well, that solved that anyway. Alright, we still got that low pressure up there. Not sure why we're reading low pressure on the fuel pump there. Connect ground power. Oh, right. There we go. Thank you. I skipped that line in the thing. There we go. That's out now. Always good to have my first officer flying along in a different airplane. Anyway, let's turn the APU on. We're going to wait for the low oil pressure light to come on. There she is, and we will start the APU. Get some cool air into the back of the aircraft. While that's happening, we can wait for everything here to come up. Probably gonna have to recycle my IRSs. Remote FO, exactly. Hey, new feature here. Let's see if I can give that a 100%. There we go. Alright, so we can turn on the APU generators and we'll get the APU bleeds up and going as well. We can switch over now to APU power indicating. And I think I am going to reset the IRSs. I think when I turned the battery off, they went off on us. There we go, they're now into align mode. So let them do their thing. Alright, back up top, we'll get the packs on both sides, and the isolation valve is open. And we can start hearing the air blowing in the back. So we can pop down now into the FMC and start getting it set up.
Hello. Thank you.
Alright, nav data is set. AIRAC is 2307, which is good from yesterday until August 10th. No position initialization. Work from home in the airline. Yeah, exactly. We're going to go to the next page. It is the 14th, so we'll go on the left GPS. Slip back over and throw that in. That is now set, and we can bring in our route. Okay, we are going to have to do a little something here, because once again, it's been a while since I've flown the 787, and I did forget to do the little bit of jiggery pokery you have to do with the PMDG aircraft. So let me just get that flight plan moved over to where the aircraft can see it. And there we go. So we're going to request the flight plan. There are two of them. We are going from Vancouver, CYVR, to PAKT. That's Ketchikan. We'll bring that in. Select it. I should load it first, I think. Load. There she is. 787-737. Oh, God.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you? I'm doing good.
There we go. Activate, execute, and the route is in. Looking good. Yeah, I've been running around all day getting ready to leave tomorrow, so a little bit slightly discombobulated. Anyway, we are going to be departing here out of Vancouver on runway 26 left. And we're going to use the YVR2 departure. We'll execute. For our arrival, winds are currently favoring runway 11. So we're going to be landing on the ILS Zulu runway 11. And are we transitioning at AN? Let's take a look. There is no approach.
Hello.
Yes, we're going to transition at AN. So we'll execute that as well. And that is our route set. So we're going to go to our menu, PMDG setup, not setup, FS actions. We want our fuel. So our fuel for today's flight, let me just pull up my flight plan. 7,920 kilos. So we'll enter that in. We're going to return. We're going to go to our payload. I'm going to enter in our number of passengers for today's flight, which is 144. So we're just 4 shy of a full aircraft today.
Hello.
That brings our weight down to 62.8. But we're targeting 60.8, so I got to lose 2 tons. So we're going to take a ton out of each end of the aircraft. Do the cargo, 60.8, which is what I want. So that is all nicely set up. Back to the menu, back to the FMC. and it is time to go into our performance. So gross weight for this aircraft today, 60.8 tons. Again, planned fuel 7.9. Reserves are 0.9. Cost index of 25. We're going all the way up to 380 for today's flight. We're going to have a average cruise wind of 22230. And transition altitude of 18,000 feet is good. Over to our N1, and we can put in our calculations. So I'm going to pull up the calculator, link in the description below. I use it all the time for the Boeing aircraft. So we are at CYVR, and we're going 26 left. Just put the weather in. I'm going to grab our takeoff weight. Is in dry conditions and calculate. Alright, we have a cell temperature of 45 degrees. We are going to be doing a 22K D rate. That's all good there. And then we'll go to our takeoff page. It's going to be a flaps 1. Center of gravity is set, and our V speeds are pretty close to what it gives us. It gives us a 132, a 133, and a 139. And we will have the MFRA will be 1,100 feet above ground level. Alright, so that is all set up. That is all looking good. And looking over this way, FS actions, we'll go to ground services as we're going to need that in a second. So IRSs are up. Everything is looking good there. And we can now get into our first flight of the day check. So there's our Mach speed warning. Our stall and stick shakers are good. We'll come down here. We will do our in-op test. There's our cautions. We'll do our fire test. Master caution, master warning, indications, and all three fire indicators lit up. And we can now do our system test.
Glide slope. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull
Good evening,
up.
ma'am. How are you? I'm doing good.
Airspeed.
All right. While it's doing that, we're going to come down here and dial in Unicom, since there's no ATC online here at Vancouver at the moment. And we'll do a quick radio check. Vancouver Terminal, Skyways, 3902, radio check.
5x5, how many frames on takeoff?
You're 5x5 as well.
Thank you.
Alright, so Kevin's up, and we are good there. Oh, sounds like everybody is on board, so quick check of the weather. I'll throw it into the chat so you can see. I'm not going to put in all, there's a lot of comments today about various cloud and sea conditions and stuff like that, or moisture conditions at sea level. So there's the weather, 230 at 8 knots, 20 miles of visibility, few clouds at 5,000, few at 20,000, few at 22,000, 21 degrees, and 3014. So let's get 3014 dialed in. It is set both sides and in the standby. Transponder, we're going to set transponder to 2,000. There we go. Transponder set 2,000 on both sides. Fueling, loading, and boarding is done. 8 tons of fuel, and as you can hear, the boarding is all done. We take a quick look out. All the equipment has been pulled away except for the chocks and GPU. Takeoff data is set. We have 132, 133, and 139. Cruise altitude, we're going to set that to 380, and we'll leave our landing altitude at 0 feet in case we have to come back. There's 380 is set. MCP we're going to set up now. We're going to set V2 plus 20, so that's 159 for the initial climb speed. Heading is going to be a runway heading, which for runway 26 left in Vancouver is 263 degrees, so we'll just crank that around. That is now set up 263 degrees, and we're going to set our climb altitude straight up to 380 as there's no restrictions on our departure and there's no ATC to step us up as we go. Those 380 is set. Sea conditions. It talked about potential of mist forming at sea level due to the temperatures and stuff. So we're not boats, but it was just a nice warning. All right, so flight directors are on both sides. Radios are set and checked. So door closed. Ground equipment is clear. We can come up now to the overhead. We are going to make sure we're disconnected off of ground power. And we are running on APU. And we're good there. So they can remove the ground power and remove the chocks. And then we can set Roger over onto the route. We're going to come up here now and we can turn on our anti-collision light.
Vancouver traffic amplified, tank percent 18, pushing south facing east.
Fuel pumps are all coming on. We have no fuel in the center tank. Well, we have minimal fuel in the center tank. So we'll turn them on just to drain that little bit out, and then we'll be good to go. He's going to push back. Kevin, are you okay with me pushing as well? Let's see if we can do this without bumping into each other. There goes the jetway. Looks like he doesn't want to close the doors, so we'll just pop down here, go back into FS actions doors. We'll get that front door closed.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Make sure all the other doors are closed so we don't have that issue again. We should be okay to push. The WestJet. Oh! Got busy over here when I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I'll squeeze in over here.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Let's get that tug in. We'll get underway.
Locking gear.
So we're going to go tail left, nose right.
Figure drag, WestJet 174, taxiing to runway 26 left. Thank you.
Vancouver traffic, Skyways 3902, gate 17, push and start facing east. So again, we want to go nose right facing east.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
There we go. So hopefully we'll stop before we run into Kevin. Alright, so fuel pumps are all on. Beacon light is on. Ignition is on both. Starting engine number 2. drain that little bit of fuel out of there, and then we'll be good to go. We'll shut those inner pumps off before we actually depart. All right, adding fuel. We'll leave the caution on just as a reminder. WestJet is left. There he goes. Not sure who he is. There's the switch shut off, so we're going to start engine number 1. And there we go. You going to stop?
Please set parking brakes.
Ah, yeah. Oh, that's good. We're nicely spaced.
Waiting your confirmation
Brakes are
for
set.
a good engine start.
Hear the starter kick out around 18. There she goes. Let them get out of the way and get unhooked.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Alright, so generators 1 and 2 are now both on. Engine 1 and 2 start switches to continuous. Probe heats are on. Wing and engine anti-ice not required. Engine 1 and 2 bleeds are on. PAKTs are back on and set to auto. Recirculation fan is auto. Isolation valve is auto. APU bleed is now off. APU is off. And we're flaps 1. Selected and in transit.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear.
Elevator trim, we
Right
want
is clear.
6.6, so there's 5, 6, and about there.
Vancouver traffic, WestJet 174 lining up, taking off, runway 26 left, Vancouver.
And there's flight control check, full left, full right, neutral, full forward, full back, neutral, full left rudder, full right rudder, neutral. Do a check on our engine instruments. They are looking good. We'll bring that up to the main screen. We're going to go having select and level change. Auto throttles are on. And warning recall, it's the fuel. So let's shut off those, and that goes away, and we are good to go. So taxi light coming on, and auto brakes are set to RTO. Vancouver area traffic, Skyways 3902, taxiing runway 26 left via the apron, Echo Delta, holding short at Delta 7, Vancouver.
Tango Curdy, following the Skyways to Delta Set 5.
Hey, Gigliotti? Gigliotti? How you doing? Aurora. This, come on. This is Aurora. It is a subset airline for the virtual airline I fly. Hi, Liam. So I fly for Fly UK. A lot of my flights are done for Fly UK. Aurora is... Oh, wait. Aurora is the Canadian subsidiary that flies in Canada for Aurora. So that's who we are. All right, so we're going to taxi out here. Doing well, Liam. Doing well. How are you today? We're going to come around to come out, This is where a lot of the Q400s for WestJet park, actually over here. This is the 737-700. Yeah, it's the Boeing. Oh, you're welcome. We're going to make a left turn here at Delta. And we're going to head down here to Delta 7. Kevin's going to follow in behind. And while we taxi down, it's a good time to mention that all my live streams are community flights. You're free to join in and fly along with us. There goes the WestJet there. We fly on VATSIM Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and we fly on multiplayer Wednesdays and Sundays. Yeah, basically that's what you run your nose wheel down, and that makes sure that you don't run into the grass and stuff for all the aircraft. So you're more than welcome to come along. You can get the information on our Discord. Links are in the description. And they'll get the chat bot to throw it into the chat as well. And you can find the aircraft information, what we're flying, when and where. And like I said, if you're up on VATSIM and you want to come along, you're more than welcome to. We fly at the same time every night. During the week, it's 1930 Zulu, and on weekends, it is 1400 Zulu. We fly around the world. Just a quick overview of the schedule as it stands as of today. Mondays we're doing our round the world tour in short haul airliners. We're flying the A320, the Phoenix. Tuesdays we're flying our tour of Canada, and I'm flying a retro A320 in Air Canada colors, or livery. And on Wednesdays we're flying a tour that's taking us to all the U.S. state capitals in the lower 48. And we're flying a DC-3 on that one. Fridays, we're doing Aurora. Saturdays, we're doing a circumnavigation of the Atlantic Ocean. We've worked our way up from the tip of South America, up through South America, the Caribbean, North America. We're currently in Greenland, and we're going to come down through Europe and Africa to the bottom. And then Sundays, we fly the 747 freighter in support of the Formula One series, and if we have an off day where we don't have a flight to do, we'll be flying some other long haul aircraft on that. We've been into Montreal a few times. I don't think I've ever been into Salt Lake City though. But most of the flights we do are linked to some sort of tour. It's a sequence of flights, either around the world, as we're doing on Mondays, or in different regions, or there's usually a theme to them. Alright, so we're going to come around the corner here. We're not going to turn on the first right. That's Delta 5. We want Delta 7. So we're going to take the second one here, and then we'll do our pre-departure and takeoff checks. Salt Lake City, yeah. For when we do Utah, we'll be into Salt Lake City. That's for sure. Is it the capital or is it Provo? Don't remember. I know Salt Lake's the biggest city. I'm not sure if it's the capital city.
Vancouver, Tango approaching Delta 5 to hold short for departure traffic.
You're going Delta 5, or are you? Alright, so there's brake set. Alright, fuel flow. Let's go down here. Make sure our fuel flow is consistent. So we're going to hit reset on the fuel flow. We'll look down here, and fuel flow is showing consistent on both sides. That's good. Verifying takeoff speeds, 132, 133, 139. We can clear that message now. MCP is set. Initial V2 speed is 159. We're going to be heading out 263 until 2,000 feet, at which we'll head off to the waypoint. We're not going to the YVR waypoint. We'll go to the next one after that. And then we have an altitude of 380. So we're coming up top. Position lights will go to strobes and steady. Taxi light coming off. Turn off lights will go on. Landing lights will go on. Transponder is set TARA and TCAS is on. We're going to set up our screen here. I like going traffic, data, terrain, and we'll go 10 miles. And over on Roger's side, we center, bring in the traffic, and he gets a 20 mile bubble around us for over there. Vancouver area traffic, Skyways 3902, taking position, runway 26 left. Alright, brakes are off. We're going to roll forward. Salt Lake City is the capital of Utah. Okay, cool. So we will be going there. This flight is about an hour and a half. So it's not a long flight. It's, what does it say, 485 miles? Also tells you the time we're going to be arriving. Well, once we're in the air. But it's about an hour and a half flight. Why am I dragging so much? Must be the heat. Again with these stupid boxes since the last update. Alright, so we're rolling out. We're going to be taking off in that direction, and the approach path is clear. We might have, but I don't recall. So many airports we've been to. Alright, let's get ourselves turned here. I've been wondering why flaps on the wings open when the plane makes contact with the runway. They're not flaps. They're, hey, get off the runway. They're actually spoilers, and while we wait for the fire truck to clear, I can show you. There they are there. So they disrupt the airflow across the wing. So when you land, because you want to kill the lift, to make sure you don't float back up, by having them deploy when the aircraft touches down, it kills the lift, so there's no chance of it flying up again. And it also, as Kevin says, it also adds some resistance and braking force to the aircraft. Anyway, fire truck has decided to leave, so we're good to go. So we're going to bring the engines up to 40% and stabilize. Elapsed time is going. Vancouver area traffic, Skyways 3902, departing runway 26 left on the Vancouver to departure. Vancouver. Brakes released. Takeoff power is set. Airspeed's live. Check.
Demonting.
Well, we're a bit heavy today. You could feel that on the rotation. You're up. Alright, so autopilot on, heading select level change. We're going to hold here till 2,000 feet. And there we go, back to N1 for acceleration.
Vancouver traffic at 1 Tango, taking position rate 26 left, that's 5. We're going to hold about 30 seconds for separation from our
There's
colleagues.
2,000 feet, so we're going to be flying direct to the YZT waypoint. And we'll execute. and LNAV VNAV. Range out a little bit. The YZ TVOR is on the north end of Vancouver Island. As you can see, we're heading up to the north end. And we're through flap protraction speed, so flaps coming up. Yeah, they're not bad. I've been on the max and a lot of 737s over time.
And Vancouver traffic, I think we're rolling over 26 left on the Vancouver City departure to the northwest.
They are dated though, I will say that. They need to come up with a new airframe. They've pushed the 737 as far as it can go. Alright, 250 knots. We're coming up on 5,000 feet. So we're going to come up overhead and we can do our after takeoff checkup. So positive rate, gear is up, autopilot, command A is engaged, auto brake is now off, gear selector lever to off, engine start switches will both come off, runway turnoff lights are off, and flaps are retracted. Cabin is starting to pressurize, which is good. And 10,000 feet, we'll release the cabin.
Vancouver to front Tango currently through 1,200 on the Vancouver 7 northwest departure.
Alright, so we are on our way. A lot of traffic ahead of us. There's a line of Alaskas. Where did they all come out of? They all came out of Seattle. They're all heading north to Juneau. KLM going up there as well. It's interesting. If we look over at Ketchikan, PAKT, PAKT Airport.
Tango currently 9.3 miles west of the Vancouver.
Three of us heading in there. Us two plus and Alaska Airlines heading in as well. Which Alaska is it? 65. Is he showing here yet? Nope. Oh yeah, well, 747s are what we're flying on Sundays, and the 380. There isn't one in the sim yet, although somebody's working on it. So we're through 11,000 feet, so we can shut off the main lights. We will release the people in the back. Is the Cardiff to Amsterdam with EasyJet or British Airways? It's with KLM. Very special livery for KLM as well. Alright, so as we climb up, let's pop out the map, and while that's loading in, oh, we got the chat box already up there. Didn't notice that, but that's fine. Alright, we'll close this down. And there we are. So we're pretty much at our high altitude climb speed. But the EasyJet, never flown on EasyJet. Usually driven or taken the train when I've been on the continent. Never actually grabbed it. Well, most of that time was before those airlines were around. Alright, so we're going to switch over to standard pressure now. Landing lights are confirmed off. Everything is set and good. Cabin is pressurizing. And we are good for climb out. So we're going to let the aircraft climb up and do its thing. And we'll monitor it. Let's get a nice view of the mountains. Let's go this way. Give us something to see out of the window. Get the in-flight entertainment up. Alright, so the drinks cart is available. Galley is open. Feel free to order anything if you so wish. We'll be back on mic for the descent briefing and descent into Ketchikan. It's going to be kind of an interesting one. My first time flying in there, so we'll see how it works. And other than that, just sit back, relax, and enjoy. I'll be in the chat to answer any questions that you might have during the flight.
From somewhere in the skies above us have come from time to time flaming discs and weird aerial phenomena. What of? Whence have they come? Dr. Morris Aviat, one of the leading aerodynamicists in the world, stated that in his opinion, they have originated elsewhere than the Earth, and that they are artificially controlled. Yes, they could be craft from another planet, or a development of enemy power. But whatever they are, they continue to cause a great deal of concern and controversy. And when we are tempted to say that they are just a fiction writer's dream, we must remember that Jules Verne once dreamed of exploring the ocean depths, and in time we had the submarine. Leonardo da Vinci also prophesied that someday man would fly like a bird. Today, flying is commonplace. Even the atom bomb thrilled readers of fiction magazines before it became a reality. In fact, the author was so realistic in his description of a terrifying destructive force that he was investigated by the FBI, who thought he had gotten secret information from government laboratories. But now man dreams of limitless power to propel us into outer space, where we can explore other worlds. So, while travel to another planet may seem highly imaginative to us today, in the year 2000, it may be commonplace. Here, for example, is a story of travel in the sky, visits to worlds in outer space, which may well be the blueprint of life to be lived in the years to come. Professor! What is it, buddy? It's trying to weather the storm, but it has lost altitude and crashes in the mountains of the polar region. Centuries later, men from a scouting ship discover the wreck.
They're in a perfect state of preservation. Must have been frozen since the ship crashed. That's strange. Body's almost natural temperature.
Let's get them out of here. This gas is making me drowsy.
Well, take hold of his feet.
Wonder how fast we're going.
About 1,000 miles an hour at least. Polar Patrol, calling Operations Office. Polar Patrol, calling Operations Office.
Operations Office. Go ahead, Polar Patrol.
Golly, they sure got in quick. Put this call through to Scientist General Hewer. It is urgent.
One moment. Go ahead.
Captain Rankin speaking. We're approaching the city with 2 prisoners found in a dirigible.
A dirigible? That's impossible. Such ships haven't been used since the 20th century.
20th century? What does he mean?
I don't know. The ship was frozen on the tip of Bering Glacier. Prisoners were in a state of suspended animation when we found them.
Bring them directly to me when you land. That is all.
Scientist General's respect, sir. You're to come directly to his headquarters. Thank you, Lieutenant. Come along, men.
Come on.
Take my place, Lieutenant Deering. Follow our spaceship through the televi. How are you going to be in that dirigible?
I was in command. We'd taken off from New York and were making a transpolar flight around the world when...
What year was that?
1938.
1938? Impossible. Let me verify that. (1938). There was such an expedition. Your name, please.
Buck Rogers. Lieutenant Rogers officially.
And yours, my boy?
My name is George Wade. I'm usually called Buddy.
Nubrano gas. That explains it then. Rankin, we are witnesses to a scientific miracle. By means of a gas discovered by Professor Morgan, these 2 people have remained in a state of suspended animation for 500 years.
500 years?
That makes me old enough to be my own great-grandfather.
But, Professor Hewer, that's impossible, sir.
Dr. York, Killer Kane has captured a number of our pilots.
You may save yourself considerable discomfort by telling me where to find the entrance to the hidden city.
I do not remember.
I think I know a way to make you remember. Look into that instrument. Look into it. Those men were once pilots of Dr. Hewer's ships. Now they are living robots. Men robbed of all willpower while they wear the helmets I had designed for them. Shall I have you measured for a robot's helmet? Or will you tell me where the entrance to the hidden city is?
I do not remember.
Take him away.
I don't understand. understand, sir. Who is this man called Killer Kane?
He is the result of the stupidity of the men of your century. You failed to stamp out lawlessness, and in the end, the criminal became stronger than the law. Racketeers, you call them. Today they rule the world as cruelly as they ruled their gangs in your day.
But isn't there any chance of help from an outside source?
Only from men on some other planet.
Another planet? That doesn't sound very hopeful.
It could be, but our spaceships seem unable to slip through Kane's air blockade. We've lost 5 thus far trying it.
You mean you actually have ships that can travel from planet to planet?
Of course.
If you have ships that can travel that far, you know, I think I know a way of running that blockade.
Well, if you have any plans, I'm ready to listen to them. But to me it seems much hopeless.
Am I right, Marshal Craig, in assuming that you can operate a plane from the ground at such a distance, mind you, by means of radio?
That's correct, Rogers.
Well then, sir, why don't you send up such a ship as a decoy? While Kane's patrol is following it, I can slip through in a spaceship and get help from Saturn.
We've already lost too many ships and crews. We can't afford to try it.
It seems to me you can't afford not to try it, sir.
Rogers is right, Marshal. Unless we get help from Saturn, our cause is lost. Very well, sir. You're in charge.
Thank you very much.
Lieutenant Deering, you will go with Rogers to establish a means of communication with Saturn, if you do get through to that planet.
Patrol ship 7-4 calling 60,000 foot patrol.
Shall I lay our course directly for Saturn now, Buck?
May as well.
Hey, Buck, look.
They fell for it, all right.
That spaceship with no one in it.
We can direct all the aircraft from the control room until they reach the outer atmosphere.
I don't think we'll run into any more trouble. Why don't you take a nap, Wilma? I'll take the controls.
Thanks very much.
What's that up ahead? Looks like a gray wall.
That's the outer atmosphere of Saturn, buddy. It's 10 times denser than the air around the Earth.
What was that?
I don't know.
Look, 2 of Killer Kane's ships coming up fast behind us.
Retard your speed to 1/2. If we do, they'll get away from us. Don't worry about that. They'll either have to slow down or go up in smoke.
Tony, rockets. If we have that atmosphere at this rate of speed, the friction will bring us to a pier. Look, they smashed some rockets. I can't fire them. In the oxygen tanks. They explode, will be torn to atoms.
Buddy, take the controls. The portholes are giving way, Buck.
That's no use. The heat is melted at the valve head. Screw, buddy.
Anti-gravity belt. I'll have to bail out.
Buddy, open the airlock. It's no use. The heat's jammed the door. Stand back, woman. Get to the outside door.
Tony, you pick the radio.
Go on.
looking place.
Huh?
Stand by the retarting rockets. Signal the other ship if we're going down. Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Deering calling the Scientist General of Earth. Lieutenant Deering calling the Scientist General of Earth.
Air Control Headquarters at the 8. Go ahead, Lieutenant Deering.
Give me the Scientist General at once, please.
Wilma, this is Dr. Hewer. Are you safe?
Our Outer Atmosphere Patrol reported 2 of Killer Kane's spaceships took off after you.
They did. Shot down our ship, but we got away without a gravity belt.
Well, if all of Saturn is like this, you can have it. Right. Wreck's over that way. Tell the men on the other ship to stand guard.
Look, I just saw one of Killer Kane's men go behind those rocks.
Are you sure?
Positive. They must have landed their ship and are following to capture us.
Maybe we can beat them at their own game. Follow me. Don't let them guess we know they're trailing us.
Stop where you are. Hand me that gun. Give it to me.
There's nothing else you can do, Wilson.
All right. Let's get them back to the spaceship.
Patton, check the rockets on the other ship.
Do not move, any of you. Drop your weapons. You are from the Earth, are you not?
Why, yes, we came here to make a treaty.
It would be useless to explain to me. I am only a soldier acting under order. 2 of you stay and guard the ship. The other 2 bring the others after me. Here are the prisoners you ordered me to bring in, sir. I am Alda, Director of the Council of the Wise. I have had you brought here to explain your presence on Saturn. You may speak.
We came here as envoys, seeking an alliance with you people of Saturn.
And why do you desire such an alliance?
To escape the tyranny of a man called Killer Kane, who's imposed his rule on all but a handful of us. A man who governs by brute force.
That's not true. Leader Kane is a just man. He rules with the consent of all save a few revolutionaries.
Revolutionaries? Is it true that you are revolutionaries?
In a sense, I suppose we are. If it's revolutionary to protest against brutality.
I have had enough. Rebels or not, I see through them all into prison. Saturn wants no contact with outside planets.
But in this age of science, we cannot hope to isolate ourselves from the rest of the universe. But we are dedicated to peace and have no patience with rebels.
Then why not form an alliance with our government and help us stamp out this rebellion?
The point is well made. We'll imprison the revolutionaries and treat with the envoys of the leader Kane.
And I jump tail and run for a sliding panel.
We can't escape the guards.
We'll have to try.
Throw the others in prison.
One wrong move from any of you, you'll lead a new council of the wise.
Seize him!
spaceships are over there.
What about those awful Zug guards?
Take care of them with this gun.
Take the controls, Parker. I'll find the starting rocket.
Right. Dog down the door, buddy. See if all the portholes are closed.
I'd be glad to get back to Earth.
That's right where you're going, buddy.
Wilmer Rogers must prevail on the Saturnians to lend them a spaceship to return to Earth.
That's no Saturnian craft, Doctor. It's one of Killer Kane's spaceships.
Possible.
I know that type of ship too well to be mistaken. Have you tried to contact them on our wavelength?
As a matter of fact, I have.
We must do so at once. There's a spaceship at 274.6. Contact at once on our wavelength.
Yes, sir. Air Marshal calling spaceship on 274.6.
Gosh, Buck, I guess we'll be landing pretty soon, won't we?
That's right. Wish radio was working so we could contact Dr. Hugh.
Well, that isn't necessary. I know the secret entrance to the hidden city. We better start using our retarding pressure.
Air Marshal calling spaceship on 274.6. I'm sorry, sir, there's no contact.
That proves it, Doctor. It is a Kane ship.
But I can't understand.
There's only one answer, Doctor. Wilmer Rogers must have betrayed a secret entrance to the city.
There's the signal to open the gates. What shall I do, sir?
Open them and stand by to close them at my command.
Yes, sir.
They got our signal.
They're in the lock now, sir.
Close the gates, Mom, and put all the power of the dynamos behind them.
They're jammed.
Notify the airport not to drop the wrecked ship to the airdrome. Have it lowered with crane. I want to examine it.
Yes. Buddy! Buddy! Get that gravity belt. We still have a chance, sir. Quick! Quick, through that opening.
Wing bus. How did you get here? The Air Marshal ordered me to arrest anyone who escaped from the wrecked ship, sir. You mean you were in that spaceship?
Yes, sir.
But it's one of Killer Kane's spaceships. That's why I ordered it destroyed.
The only way we could escape from Saturn, sir, after the men of that planet turned against us.
We'd better discuss this in my office. Report back to the officer of the day, Lieutenant. Come.
That also is true, sir. It is the duty of every honest government to aid in the suppression of anarchy wherever found. To that end, we have signed this promise of support. Then, Stalin, you will visit the Earth with Captain Lasker. Verify his story. If it is true, you will present this treaty to the leader Kane for his signature. Saturn will abide by your decision.
How soon can your spaceship be ready to leave, Captain?
It's ready now, and I suggest we start at once. I thank you in our leader's name for your faith in us, for your promised help. This is Prince Talon, Lieutenant Patton. We're leaving for Earth immediately.
Did everything work out as you hoped?
I think our troubles with Dr. Hugh are about over.
Have you identified the ship, Hugh?
Beyond question, it's a Killer Kane ship. May I look, sir?
Oh, why, of course.
It's a sister ship to the one we came back from Saturn in.
Then that means that Killer Kane's men have probably completed their mission on Saturn. If we only knew if they made the alliance with the Saturnians.
Well, haven't we got any spies working with the Killer Kane people?
Well, we've tried it. Every one of them has been captured and put into Kane's robot battalion.
So what was done with the stuff taken from the wrecked spaceship?
Dr. Hewer has the instruments. The rest of the equipment was put in military storage.
And you still have the uniforms taken from the crew's quarters?
Are you suggesting that we use those uniforms to get a spy into Killer Kane's camp?
Yes, sir. I'd like to volunteer for the detail.
Oh, you'd only be captured and spend the rest of your days in Kane's robot battalion. I'm afraid that you're of more value to us in the air, Roger.
But Marshal Craig, if I can get the information concerning the Saturnian treaty, sir, may mean the success of our campaign.
He's right, Hewer. You haven't a chance in 1,000. But if you're willing to risk it, I can't afford to refuse the offer.
Thank you very much, sir. Which one of those buildings is Killer Kane's?
That big one, with the terraces. I'll circle it in a minute.
Put your two gravity belts and prepare to bail out.
Right out.
So long, Lincoln.
Good luck, Lieutenant.
I sent for you because my patience is about at an end. You have all read the treaty which our good friend Prince Talon has brought from our sister planet Saturn. It pleases me.
Buddy, get a gravity belt from the wreck we just passed.
Are there any objections from the councils? Then I submit it to you for your signatures.
No one will sign that treaty, Kane. I'll take it.
Guards! How did you get in here?
We were here when you and Prince Talon entered the room.
It's Buck Rogers.
Who is Buck Rogers?
He's the Hidden City American who came to Saturn.
Talon, you're not going to sign this treaty until I've had a chance to show you just why this man is called Killer Kane.
Don't be a fool, Rogers. If you persist in this folly, my men will kill you.
Not until I've shown Prince Talon just what you do with your prisoners, Kane. Get to the televisor. Go on, move. Prince Talon, you go with me. Buddy, keep these consuls covered. Get the dynamo room. I said the dynamo room, Kane. See for yourself, Prince Talon. Those steel caps they're wearing are Amnesia helmets, an invention of Kane's scientists to rob men of their minds and their will. But this is incredible. Nevertheless, Talon, it's true. Now do you know why we are fighting this man?
Who is your leader? I shall be glad to treat with him.
That's a very handsome gesture, Prince Talon. But how do you and Rogers plan to leave my city? You will be arrested by my guards before you can leave the palace.
I've taken care of that, Kane. Buddy, toss me that gravity belt.
The gravity belt? I don't understand.
It's a device we use here on Earth. It's really an outgrowth of the old parachute. Put it on, Talon.
Oh, I see.
Buddy. Out the window you go, you two.
Well, how about you, Buck?
Never mind about me.
Come on, over here, quick.
Okay.
every man of you in the robot battalion.
They're on the terrace. If necessary, bring in some of the ships from the Outer Atmosphere Patrol. Assign them to cover Kane City. Rogers must be given all possible help. Nothing new from Rogers. I'm sorry, Doctor, not a word. It looks bad.
Marshal Craig, we can't just stand here and do nothing. Maybe if we...
Lieutenant Deering, you forget where you are. Now, it's possible that Rogers has escaped. He may be somewhere in the open country between here and Kane City. I suggest we send out a scout patrol and look for him. Do so at once, Craig. Lieutenant Deering.
Yes, sir?
You're a member of the 7th Pursuit, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Order out the squadron. Cover all of the open country between here and Kane City. Flying at a low altitude. I'll have your complete flying orders sent to the airport. That is all.
Yes, sir.
She'll find Buck Rogers if anybody can.
Tell him, don't down those doors.
We made it.
Captain Roberts speaking. Let me speak to the leader.
Calling the leader. Calling the leader. Calling the leader.
This is the leader. What have you to report?
The fugitives have escaped in your patrol ship, sir.
Escaped? In my ship? You blackheads! I'll send every one of you to the robot battalion. Report to the guard captain under arrest.
Yes, sir.
The leader's airport.
The spies have escaped in my private patrol ship. Send the squadron after them and shoot them down. Warn all outposts. If they break through to the open country, we'll never get them. And you are the men I made counselors of Earth. I would be better served by this Buck Rogers, who walked through your men as if they were children.
I notice you didn't capture Rogers when he was in this very room.
Cranko, I warn you. Another statement like that and you will go before the firing squad. And so will all of you if you fail me again. Now get out!
To your hidden city, Colonel Rogers. Oh, about 600 miles.
I wouldn't call old Dr. Hugh exactly handsome, but sure would give a lot to see his face right now.
I bet you would, buddy. Talon, I should have returned this treaty to you after I took it from Killer King.
I'd forgotten about it in the excitement. Someday you must return to the planet Saturn with me and receive the thanks of people for preventing the alliance with Kane.
I'd rather you thank me by giving us your planet's support and smashing Killer Kane's armies.
Hey, Buck, here comes a whole squadron at us.
Is it a Kane squadron? No, it's one of our own from the hidden city.
Calling Lieutenant Deering.
This is Lieutenant Deering. Go ahead, please.
It's a Killer Kane ship approaching beneath us about 6,000. Pull out a formation and bring it down before they can communicate with headquarters.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Buck, one of them's diving at us.
Yes, I can. This is Killer Kane's ship. They think we're an enemy.
Just below it. Fire blast into the tail surface as I level out.
They're going to shoot us down. only thing we can do is set down and let them see who we are.
Going down. First time I ever saw Killer Kane's ship give up so easily.
Rogers and Betty. We thought you were an enemy ship. I'm so glad that was not a direct hit.
That makes it unanimous, Wilma.
Who is this? One of Killer Kane's men?
I know. He's the best friend we have, Rank. It's Prince Talon, envoy from the planet Saturn. He's going to help us in our fight against Killer Kane.
Oh, I'm very sorry, sir. I didn't understand.
Well, that's an old custom we have here. It's a sign of friendship, like this, Talon. That's right. Wilma, report back to your squadron. Advise your commander what happened. Tell him we'll follow you back to the hidden city and gain ship.
Oh, I think I will.
Good. All's buddy. He's been taken care of, sir. Dr. Hure, this is Prince Talon, envoy from the planet Saturn. Dr. Hure is our scientist general. And Air Marshal Craig, our operations chief.
Prince Talon? Prince Talon, you bring new hope to a beleaguered race. If it had not been for Colonel Rogers, I think your enemy would have tricked me into fighting him instead of helping him. I am authorized to sign this treaty, pledging our support to your cause.
It would be more honest to let see our people and decide whether we are worthy of your help. Lieutenant Deering, it would be well to contact the planet Saturn.
Yes, sir.
Advise them that we have signed a treaty with Prince Talon, but they are at war with Killer Kane.
Calling planet Saturn. The Earth calling planet Saturn.
I assure the leader that the hidden city squadron was upon us before we could bomb Rogers and Talon again.
So you allowed Rogers to escape with Talon to the hidden city?
We could not help ourselves. You see, we were science.
If Talon pledges the aid of Saturn to Dr. Hure, they will drive us from the face of the earth.
We brought it on ourselves. You should have taken my advice. Quick, when we had it on.
Since you are so clever, you shall take a spaceship to Saturn and arrange a treaty with her people before Talon has time to report back.
I refuse. I will not be a tool for your insane ambitions.
I am in command here, Krenko. Take him away to the robot battalion where he can forget his grievances.
You can't send me there, Kane. You can't. I'll head your commission to Saturn. I'll head your commission to Saturn, but don't send me to Robert Kane. No!
Anything to say it now, Krenko. When this helmet is in place, you'll never think nor speak again. You can tell Kane that I'll escape.
I'll live to see the day that his...
One more dead man in the ranks of the leader's enemies.
I trust no others share the feelings of the late Councillor Krenko. Being a kindly ruler, I shall give you a chance to redeem yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Fly a spaceship to Saturn and arrange the treaty that Krenko refused to try. If you succeed, there is an empty chair at my council table.
The Earth calling to planet Saturn.
I'm afraid it's useless, Doctor. Apparently our receiving sets are not in tune with your projectors.
In that event, you'll have to return to Saturn by spaceship.
I doubt whether such a trip is possible.
Air controls.
What reports from our Outer Atmosphere Observatory?
Report just received, sir. Killer Kane has doubled all air patrols in that stratum.
A spaceship wouldn't have a chance.
I am not quite so sure about that, Cragg.
Not sure? You know what's happened to all our ships that tried to break through?
Yes, but I've been working on a little experiment that may help us.
What kind of an experiment?
Well, I didn't mean to show it until I had perfected it, but even as it is, it may serve our purpose. Just step over to this window. Now watch the ship nearest you. Stand well back. I don't want to experiment on you.
Do you know anything about this?
I knew he was working on something, but he wouldn't say what it was.
Now keep an eye on that ship.
I don't see anything strange about it.
What's it supposed to do, Doctor? Blow up or something?
Why, it's disappearing in the thin air.
Oh, don't get in the ray. Might do the same thing to you. Wouldn't harm you very much, but it may take some time to bring you back to visibility. But I don't see how that would help, sir. If you've destroyed the ship... Oh, but I haven't. The ship is still there, but you can't see it. I have discovered a ray which reduces all opaque matter to transparency, perfect as the ether itself. Unfortunately, I can hold it only for a matter of a few minutes. 10 at most.
And the ray won't harm anybody inside the ship?
Not at all.
Well, then the problem's solved.
And the sooner we start, the better.
Yes.
They'll need a navigator set.
Oh, yes, so they will. You will report to the air control room and make ready for immediate flight.
Yes, sir.
Well, if I have to take you with me, we better get to the control room.
Doctor? Have the rockets loaded into a spaceship for immediate takeoff.
Yes, sir. Rocket Laboratory. This is the air control office. Have spaceship LC9 loaded immediately for takeoff. These are retarding rockets. Make sure you put them in the lower racks with the firing end forward.
You'll be pretty much on your own when you reach Saturn.
I hope we get through Kane's blockade.
All depends on Dr. Hewitt, Helen. I'll radio him as soon as we spot any of the Kane's ships.
Buck, there they are, right above us.
Dr. Hewitt? Dr. Hewitt? Buck Rogers calling.
This is Dr. Hewitt. Go ahead, Buck.
We spotted the Kane ships, sir. They're directly above us.
Let us start your dissolvo ray.
I turn it on immediately, Buck.
The hidden city ship rising, sir. Trying to run our blockade.
Head straight for it. Man the ray guns. Hold your fire till I give the order.
Working perfectly, Doctor.
Look, it's disappearing into thin air. It's vanished. Attention all patrol ships. The hidden city spaceship has just run our blockade. Spread out, circle and try to locate it.
All right, Helen?
Yes.
You, Wilma?
Fine, Buck.
Stand by your rocket controls. Here we are back to normal again. With that a relief.
It's a strange sensation being up here in a ship we couldn't see.
Now, the main thing is we got through Killer Kane's blockade. Now the only thing left between us and Saturn is space. We're over Saturn again. Looks like the trouble is over. And now, sir, Lieutenant Deering and I must return to the Earth immediately.
So I realize the need for your haste. I will see you to your spaceship.
Thank you, Talon. Goodbye, sir.
Come on, take the starting lines.
Colonel Rogers on Saturn, calling the scientist general on Earth.
Air Control Room calling the Scientist General. Air Control Room calling the Scientist General.
Dr. Yoke, it's Buck Rogers.
Yes, Buck? Is everything all right?
Yes, sir. Wilma and I are taking off immediately, sir, but before we do, we wanted to check with you about the dissolvo ray.
It's still imperfect. But we can count on it to make you invisible long enough to slip through K's air blockade.
That's fine, Doctor. Then as soon as we near the Earth, we'll advise you.
As long as Dr. here is ready for you, there is nothing to keep you here any longer.
No, Talon. We'll get in touch with you on the space radio as soon as we decide the best way to rid the Earth of Killer Kane and his outlaw army.
The best of luck to you.
Thank you, Talon.
Fire the starting rockets, Wilma.
Have all men assigned to check over the dissolvable ray apparatus and once and bring it here. Colonel Rogers is on his way back from Stanton, and we'll need to bring him through the blockade. Yes, sir.
Heard no further reports from Captain Alaska. His mission to Saturn must have failed. I am preparing another expedition to force the Saturnians to sign a treaty with us. This time I shall... This is the leader.
Sir, an unidentified spaceship has been reported returning from Saturn.
Notify the commander of the Outer Atmosphere Patrol and keep me closely informed. The observers report an unidentified spaceship returning from Saturn. Perhaps Alaska has been successful after all. We'll make no move until we learn more. Adjourn.
Patrol 62. Calling Patrol 62. Patrol 62. Calling Patrol 62.
This is Patrol 62.
This is Commander White. Take your patrol to the 120,000-foot level. Watch for a spaceship returning from Saturn. If it is an enemy craft, bring it down.
Yes, sir. 120,000 foot level.
Yes, sir.
Wilma, gotta give me a few retarding rockets. We'll soon be in the outer atmosphere.
All right.
Dr. Yoke. Dr. Yoke.
We're approaching the 160,000-foot level, sir. Stand by with your dissolvo ray.
We're all set, Buck. Just give the word.
Buck, there's a Kane patrol squadron coming up fast beneath us.
Dr. Yoke, give us the ray now, sir.
One of Kane's patrol squadrons has spotted us.
she is. Squadron 62. Spaceship sighted. Fly above it and use attack formation 9. Fog at this level. That ship seems to be disappearing.
Working perfectly, Crag. Certainly.
Sure did, Junior Rankin. Oh, Lacey, check the machinery on this ship. The Air Marshal will want all the information he can get on it. Yes, sir.
Alright, well, we're back. We're just about to start down on our top of descent. We are heading downwards now. We can get rid of the map. We're basically going to be flying straight forward and doing a right series of right turns to come in for the ILS. So destination weather, we'll do our final check here. And we'll grab that. Winds are 140 at 8. I'll throw it into the chat. Skies are clear. 10-mile visibility, 18 degrees. 3018 is the barrel, so we'll set that in. So it's ready to go when we switch over. And everything is looking good. We're going to set up a few things here. We're going to come down, set in our frequencies. ILS frequency of 109.3. We'll dial that in, 1093. And we'll set that up as the ILS. We do have a NDB here that we're going to set up on NDB 2. It is 396. And let's see what side. It's 3, 9, and 6. We'll set that in there. And I'm going to do the same over here. Not sure what this is. Doesn't seem to be for ADF. But that's fine. So we'll make our first position call over Hardy. We are going to set in our course. Runway course is 115. 115 is set, and 1093. We can see 1093 showing there. As we come down, we're also going to bring our speed in at 270, and we'll hold that for our descent. We'll see if we need to use yeah, that's what I figured out. So we're going to do well, I don't want to use ADF1 because that's my ILS, so that's fine. Because I don't think you can use both. Look at the ILS frequency in there. Alright, so let's go down our checklist. Destination weather is obtained. Arrival data is set. Landing altitude will be 100 feet. So we'll set that in now. Radios are set. Localizer, ILS frequency and course we've all set in. Wing and engine anti-ice not required. Recall is flight controls. Not sure what that is. Not seeing any cautions. How do you get your ILS ADF 1? Sorry? Well, ILS is here, and it's on 1, but if I switch this over, oh, maybe it'll work. Let's put it in. 3, well, I already got it in. 396, it's on the active. We'll see if it works. MCP is set. We're coming down to flight level 240. Altimeter is, go to the overhead. What am I looking at? I haven't changed anything up here for any of this. Minimums for the approach are 292 feet. We'll use barrel, so we'll set 292. ADF is now starting to come in. Alright, 292 is set. Yaw damper on. Oh. I thought I turned it on. Oh, that would be the flight control thing. Interesting. Anyway, there's the ADF. It's now showing. The ADF is located at the end of the runway. It's kind of pointing off in that direction. 24,000 feet coming up. We'll get the signs on. You're really earning your FO from home pay today. Approaching Mr. Approach, we're going to climb on the Mr. Approach to 5,000 towards the NDB, which we've got dialed in. And then on a 214 bearing from the NDB out to the to D6.3 ITEC. And then the ANN VOR to NVOR and hold as directed. So the NVOR is 117.1. So we'll put that in over here. That's going to be showing VOR on 2. And that's part of our Mr. Approach. I don't know what happened there. Alright, so we're through Hardy. Let's see how far past Hardy we are. And we're past Henry. Ketchikan area traffic, Skyways 3902, 47 miles from Dwarf inbound ILS, runway 11 at Ketchikan. And you can see once I cleared up the route coming in, our top of descent moved a lot closer to us, but everything is good now as we're coming down. I clicked something else, so that was me just clicking things. Alright, so we'll quickly pop down here. Let's go into our fixed page. We're going to go PAKT. First thing we're going to do is put in a 25-mile radius in. There we go. And then we're going to go, let's see if we can do this PAKT, and it's runway 11. No. We're going to get the reciprocal heading here, so we're going to want a beam out on 115. runway heading. Everything's looking good. We're coming up for 25 miles out. We're through 18,000 feet, so that transition, so we'll switch over now. And what's the reciprocal of 115? That will be 295. So we're going to put 295 in. I'm actually going to give myself the runway heading there. And we can go back to our descent page. Speaking of, we're going to come into our index page. We're going to come into our approach. We're going to be landing a flaps 40 landing today. That is all set in, and it is now showing reference speed 130, so we'll be approaching at 135. So we're within 25 miles of the airport. Beautiful views out the front. Been to Ketchikan, did it on a cruise last year. Oh, is it? Okay, let me try that. Let's go fix page 2, and then RW11. Invalid entry. That's okay. Speed's starting to creep up, so we're going to bring this back now to 245, and out comes the speed brakes. Start slowing us down. That's right, I can see it on, I've set it up on the reciprocal. It gives me my runway center line. That's fine. Through 12,000 feet. Ketchikan is a very colorful town. All the homes and that are painted bright colors. A bit commercial now with all the cruise ships that go in there, but still an interesting place, right on the edge of the mountains. Alright, so blue transition, cabin pressure is coming along nicely. It's coming up for 10,000 feet, so we'll get the landing lights on, turn off lights on. Signs are on. We'll ding the cabin just to let them know. And we're going to bring ourselves back to 240 knots. We're below 250, so we can go to flaps 5. There's flaps 1. Start bringing in the speed brakes. Flaps 2. Down we go. Flaps 5. A little bit of speed brake now. Alright, so we're showing a minute or an hour 12 in flight, and it was an hour 26, I think, is the scheduled time it would take. Picking up the ILS now. India Echo Charlie Hotel, 115, 14.3 miles. There we are descending down. Looking very nice. Kevin will be behind us. It's 8,000 feet. Alright, approach, nav course and frequencies are set. Speeds are good. Speed brake is working. We're going to go to flaps 2. And we're going to bring our speed down now to 220 knots. We're about to go into the turn. She's coming back. We're going to bring her all the way down to 185. There's the turn. 7,000 feet. Two 210 knots. We'll go to flaps 10. Alright, so that's through 210, so flaps 10. It's 185. So it's sending her 6,000 feet. And we'll go over to 10 miles. $16 miles out. And very scenic down here. Went off on a bus trip to a crab fishery and had a fresh caught crab lunch, and then headed back to Ketchikan, and we had the did the scenic or the lumberjack show, which was pretty cool. And an interesting day here in Ketchikan, Alaska. Now we're heading in there. Beautiful weather. It was raining the day I was here. Keep our speed at about 185. Still 15 miles out. Don't want to get too slow. Coming up on Janum. When we land, we're going to have to go all the way down to the other end of the runway to get off at Alpha. It's the only exit point there is available. David, sorry to hear that. That's horrible. Alright, there's the turn. Still descending down. We're going to go autopilot on the glide slope localizer capture. Get her around the corner here. And there's the airport located right down in the little channel there. 7,500 feet, so auto brakes 2 and reversers should do it. Ketchikan area traffic, Skyways 3902, established ILS runway 11, 13.5 miles out, Ketchikan. We're lined up. We can bring our speed back to 165, and we'll hold 165 until 6 miles. So auto brakes are set, speed brakes are now armed. Lights are all on, cabin is notified, flaps and gear. Recall is clear. Kevin should be out over this way, coming down. Not seeing him. He'll be descending. He's on the TCAS. I can see him there, coming in behind us now. Actually, there he is, right there. There's some. Oh, there he is. I just see his lights. He's right there. There's the airport. It's 10 miles. We'll go gear down at 8 miles.
We're inbound on the LS 31 level.
There's 8 miles gear down. And gear down 3 green, flaps 15. And we're going to bring our speed back to our final approach speed, which is going to be 135 knots. 135 knots is set. We're below 160. It's 155, flaps 30. Showing 6 miles, but that's at the other end of the runway, unfortunately. So we're about 4.5 miles out, so flaps full. Ketchikan area traffic, Skyways 3902, 4 miles, short final runway 11, Ketchikan. Getting bounced a little bit by the turbulence. But we're looking good. Gear down, 3 green, flaps full, speed brakes armed, auto brakes armed, cabin notified, lights are on, recall, no messages. 1,000 to go.
Ketchikan traffic and Thrustmaster currently overhead Switty. We're turning final for the ILS from 11.
It's terrain warnings because we're coming into the areas here. That's fine. We're 2 whites, 2 reds. Everything is looking good. Minimum's coming up. And we'll release the autopilot at 500 feet.
500.
Autopilot is disconnected.
400.
Coming in through the cut in the trees.
300.
Ketchikan traffic and Tanker 40 established on the ILS from 119 miles out.
Minimums
Continue.
100. 10.
Alright, welcome to Ketchikan. Reverser's on, auto brakes on, 100 knots. It's 90 knots. 80 knots. Reverser's off. 60 knots, manual braking. And we're going to let her roll out to the end of the runway. And we will take Alpha. There we go. Ketchikan area traffic, Skyways 3902, clear runway 11 at Alpha, taxiing back to the apron. There's Kevin coming in. So we get the flaps up, speed brakes are down. Get the lights retracted. No, retracted. Give me the hand. There we go. Turn off lights are off. Taxi light is on. Strobes will come off. We'll go to position and we will start the APU as we taxi back. APU starting. Ourselves on the line and watch Kevin come in. We're just going to be parking out here. Did we get 737s flying in here from Alaska? And cruise ship terminal is somewhere over here. I remember watching the some of the smaller planes landing here. The APU is coming online now. So I'll watch Kevin, no pressure. There he is. Alright, so we're going to head over here to the terminal building. There's sort of a jetway here. Now it looks like there's a couple spots. Alright, so we'll slow down slightly. We'll turn off our taxi light. Kill that. Kill that. We can come in and park. We'll park in front of the jetway. We're not going to use it. Looks like it's broken. Default scenery here. And GSX is throwing a jetway on here, so I think that's causing issues. See if I can find a Ketchikan scenery for when we depart. we'll just pull up to make sure there's room, and we'll use the air stairs.
Ketchikan, just give this one a take out clear of 1-1 and as taxi to the 8.5 Alpha.
Alright, I think that is going to do it. So, I'm going to turn off our terrain radar. We're going to put on the parking brake. We're going to come down here and tell them to, no, not that one, this one. Get the chocks in, get the ground power in. And while they're doing that, we can come over to our stairs, get ready there. So with the ground power connected, we can switch over to ground power. We're going to leave the APU up and running, so we'll turn the APU bleed on. And we'll turn the APU generator on as well. Actually, we'll switch over to ground power, but we'll leave the air on. That's good, and we can shut down. So 1 and 2 coming off, anti-collision light off, we'll leave the lights on. Ground equipment is coming into place. Fuel pumps will now come off. Isolation valve will open, and flight directors will come off on both sides. So coming back down to our panel here, we are going to enter via stairs. So if we come over here and we go to here and then doors, we can be ready there. We're going to request stairs for the front and the back. It should be coming up now. There's Kevin coming in. Not sure where my back stairs are. Stairs inhibit. Why are my stairs inhibited? Maybe it's because... Oh, no, there he is. He was waiting for them to come in. We're going to get the rest of the guys here. We'll get a passenger bus. We'll get the cleaning crew. And we can get the galley trucks to come as well. And now that they're there, get the doors open for everybody. So thanks very much for following along with us on today's flight. We will be back in about 10 days, on Monday the 24th of July. We are going, I'm going away for a bit, so we'll be back on that date, and we will be resuming our around the world tour. And you can see the door issue here again with the same with the PMDG aircraft. I open my doors and it shows the doors on his open as well, which is rather unfortunate, but it is what it is. So enjoy your weekend. Hope you have a good time, and we will see you all on the next one. Kevin, thank you very much for flying with us. David, Liam, thanks for joining in the chat. See you all on the next one. Bye for now.